Hi and welcome, I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the Monday painting video. Monday painting video, basically from last week's Weekly Wednesday, which is a Weekly Wednesday Q&A. You guys vote on a host of models that you want me to paint up for Monday's painting video. Now, in the event of a draw, like there is today, we'll do a dice roll. So for all my regulars here, guys, I would love thanks very much. I'll see you in a second. Right, so with 2 votes apiece, we have the Malefic Blight Hauler. Absolutely amazing sculpt. I'm looking forward to painting that. The Eradicators have finally been voted on. Again, I'm looking forward to painting these guys. Alex is very keen for me to have them painted up, ready for a better report. So either one will be good. So I'm going to do a dice roll. 1 to 3 is the Malefic Blight Hauler. 4 to 6 is the Eradicators. So it's the Eradicators that are going to get painted up. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. I'm going to prime this guy down and get him ready. Well, him and the other 2 dudes. Prime them down and get them ready. And I'll come back to you with my wet palette and everything else. So, you see, I just put some stoolies and drab over the gravel. And then normally, I would go with Hex Wraith. Okay, oh, sorry, Wraithbone, not Hex Wraith, Wraithbone. And I would do the base colour on you know, that colour on that side. And then come in with Screaming Skull layer paint afterwards. Now, the only thing is, I don't like the way this sits on them. I wasn't too happy. I was looking at the painting video I did with the Outriders and the chaplain on the bike, and I didn't use Hex Wraith. Then I just used Screaming Skull. It was a pain in the arse, but I just kept using that. The Primaris Lieutenant that I painted ages and ages ago. Again, I didn't use Hex Wraith. I used the Screaming Skull. Just kept building up layers, and I actually feel the Screaming Skull on its own was better. Pain in the arse, takes longer, but it's actually better. So I'm not going to use that. Okay, I brought that in the first place to try and find an easier way, quicker way to get Space Marines painted up. But that's not the answer. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get some of this on a wet palette, and then I'm going to do one side. Okay, on all 3 of them. Give them a second coat, give them a third coat. There's usually 3 and a bit coats. It's supposed to pain in the ass, but I think in future, when I'm doing any Space Marines, not so much a hero, but like a unit, I'm going to get to this stage where the base is all ready to go, and then do the Screaming Skull. So when it comes to actually filming, when you guys see me starting to paint it, the Screaming Skull's done, the base is done, and I just can work away then, because it is a pain in the hole. Anyway, I'm going to crack on with that, and I'll come back to you in a minute. Right, so here's the first thin coat. As you can see, it's not. But that's what I love about layer paints. How you can see the bits of black coming through. When you add another layer, it's going to really take it down. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a second coat on this one, and come back to you and compare the 2, so you can see the difference. Right, so this guy's had a second coat of Screaming Skull. This guy has not. You see the difference. I mean, this one, second coat, still doesn't look perfect. Still looks a bit blocky and a bit choppy here and there. But that's the beauty of the layer paint, because I can keep adding another layer. Next layer will get rid of half of those, and then half of more and more and more. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to get some corn red on the wet palette, and I'm going to come in and give this side the corn red. Now, the reason I'm going to do that is, I know from doing this colour scheme so many times now, I can keep going with the Screaming Skull, keep going and keep going, until I put the corn red on. The corn red acts like a marker, so you can see how good the Screaming Skull is, and the Screaming Skull really pops really well with the red. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to then give these guys a second coat, and then come back to you then. Right, as you can hear in the background, the guys are in here doing some stuff, so I'll have to crack on, unfortunately. This is second coat, yeah? This is second coat with the red. Look at the difference. The red just really makes it pop. It still needs a third coat, but I use the red as a base marker, so I know what you know, how far to go with the Screaming Skull. So I'm going to do the red in the other two, and then give them a third coat of Screaming Skull, and I'll come back to you again. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take some lead belcher. This still needs another coat on the Screaming Skull, but I'm going to leave it for a second, and I'm going to paint all of this lead belcher. All the piping's going to be painted lead belcher. This little pod here for the weaponry, it's going to be lead belcher. Then I'm going to do things like the exhaust vents in between the armour panels, these little big gyro sections on the legs, all the piping. And then I'm going to come back to you when I've done that on all three of them. Right, next I'm going to come in with some Druky Violet, and I'm going to paint the muzzle of the gun. I'm not going all the way up, I'm going most of the way up. I've seen this technique done before, and I think it looks fantastic. If any of you haven't seen it, well, this is a good learning curve for you. Very simple, very easy technique. Yeah. And the next thing I'm going to do is I've got some Retributor armor on the wet palette. I'm going to come in and I'm actually going to do the gold trim on the shoulder pauldrons. The shoulder pauldrons, I'm going to do them with Retributor armor. They're cooler on their chest, some of them are cooler on the gun. The gold bit on the back there. That's pretty much all of the gold bits I'm going to do. So I'm going to do that across all three of them. And when I come back, then the Druky Violet should be dry. And I can show you the next part to do with that. Right, so we give you a quick look what they look like. I actually chucked a very little bit of Screaming Skull on his head. I wasn't going to paint his face, but I just said, you know what, let me go for it. Now I'm going to get some Aphosian camo shade, and I'm going to chuck it over the gun. Not every part of the gun, just piping and the barrel. I'm going to get into the gold, Aquila on his chest. Let's give that a little touch of this. The pipe work from the back of his legs. Get the gun on the other side as well. I haven't touched the muzzle of the gun, okay? That has not been touched with this camo shade. Just take the excess on the brush and just run it over the top of that little gold panel. Now with the gold on the Aquila, or Retributor armor should I say, I keep forgetting to do this. Even with like the other bits and pieces I've done with Retributor armor, like the Necrons, I've forgotten to do the Aphosian camo shade over the Retributor armor. Sorry guys, my voice is starting to go weird because I'm just getting over this illness. It's just the last bit I have is a sore throat and a chesty cough, but my voice comes on and goes from time to time. I actually like, couldn't do that. Bloody hell, the wind out there is starting to really pick up. First it's farmers, then now it's the weather starting to be stupid. Can I just have 5 minutes peace to do a painting video? Oh, dear me. To be honest, I was going to stop this video, you know, not so long ago, just because I just can't. I had a mad 20 minutes of coughing. Oh my goodness me! Whatever is that bouncing around out there? Yeah, I had a mad 20 minutes of just coughing, to the point of nearly puking. So I just had to stop and go get some cough syrup, and that sorted me out a bit. So what I'm going to do to the gun now is give me a really, like, when I say dirty metal look on the gun, it's not making the gun look dirty. It's more of making it look like, you know, when you have like aluminium or some light material like that, and a bit of heat gets on it, and it goes like a weird browny, metallic-y browny colour. It's still metal, you can still see it's metal, but it's not burnt. It's sort of just that. That's what it's going to give me. What I need to do, I need to get some Rhinox hide, which I do not have on the painting station next to me. It's nice. Rhinox hide for the pouches on their back, and I need some. Where's that I read? So let me just sort out that palette back over a minute, guys. Right, so what I'm going to do, take some Rhinox hide. It's going to give the guns the gun holsters a little paint over Rhinox hide, and the pouches that they have on their back. Do you know one thing I've just realised I didn't do? I haven't taken a model to a certain stage and then told you, right, I'm taking it to the next stage now. Apart from this, the next stage is really just the washes that I've shown you, and dry brushing the pouches with some Screaming Skull. So look at that gun. It's looking very very nice. Now, if there is anything that I've forgotten to do on these models, yeah, or just say next week and I feel better, I look at them and go, actually that needs to have this done, then what I'll do is I will do it, but tell you guys that I've done it. And just where I'm not feeling 100% now, I just don't want to. I don't want to do it half a job, but I don't want to, you know, try and do something that I'm not well enough to do. Someone will say, you're out there painting now, so you must be well enough to paint. Not really. But as I told the wife yesterday or the day before, stuff still has to be done. If I'm well enough to go to work, I'm well enough to come and do this. Right, so we're almost done. The next thing I'm going to do, I've got Deco Red on the wet palette. I'm going to take some of that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through on the red and just start layering it up. Now it will go on bright, but it is a layer paint, so it will dull itself down. So is any part of the corn red where it's a bit dark and it looks a bit horrible, when I lay that up, it's really gonna just blend it in nicely. Especially on the back here, I just try and edge highlight it. Well, not edge highlight, but I just try and get as much of the straight edges as possible. I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, I do, but I'm not able to talk that much. I'm going to crack on with this off camera and come back and show you. So here we go. This is one without any Rose Deco red on it. This is the one with Rose Deco red. So the big difference. Yeah, look at the feet, the legs, big difference. Now with the Rose Deco red, because it's a layer paint, like on this guy here on his backpack, I can just edge highlight along here, and then when that's dry, do another edge highlight of it, so it just really stands out. So I'm going to do Rose Deco red and the other two guys, then come back to you for the final few bits. Right, so now I'm going to come back with some lead belcher, and I'm going to hit the end of the muzzle. So I want to get the whole muzzle, just want to get that very tip. Just take that silver away, take the purple away from it. Still think I've got the lighting all wrong here. It's a bit weird. Anyway, it's a bit better. So again, just take the end of that away. Just so that it gives me that purpley haze on it. I don't think this light's giving me any justice at the moment. I'm too sick to be messing around. See the purple on the muzzle there? It's actually come out probably better on this one. But I'm just going to do the end, just to give me that purple along the muzzle. So two things left to do. One is the green eyes, which is moot green. I'm throwing the paint everywhere. It's a good thing it wasn't open. Oh, that's been disastrous. Covering myself in moot green paint. Oh dear me. Excuse me. So the next thing I'm going to do is Lofland blue, just for the purity seal. Now, a few people have asked me, why do I go with Lofland blue on my purity seal? The reason why, if the purity seal is on this side and I paint it red, it's not going to be that noticeable. Now it's very noticeable. Now I'm not, the Screaming Skull can pass, is a passable, but there's certain parts stuck up on the ball of the backpack here. I'm not 100% happy with that, but I'm not well enough to mess around with today. So I'm going to do those purity seals. Right, so I've got some moot green on the brush. Here's what you do. You line it up and you come in. I'm not going to get the angle. I'm not going to get the angle, so I can't do it that way. The way I'd normally do it is line it up so my finger hits the model, and then I just tilt it into where I want to go. But the beauty about Space Marine is meant to be a light source coming from his helmet, so it's good. If it slightly gets on the other bits around it, that's a bit too much. I think that's a bit too much. Ah, shit. I've really cocked that one up, look. Oh well. Let's just crack on. He only has one little grand. Hopefully that little bit of moot green that looks a bit bandy on the other guy, hopefully that will just dull itself down a bit and just won't look as bad. That's a bit better. Anyway. I think that's all of it. I think that's done now. If there's anything I've forgotten, or if I come back here, tomorrow, day after, next week, and go, actually, I should do this, or actually, it'd look better if I did that, then I'll do it and let you guys know. But thank you for watching. Thank you for bearing with me. So I'm not 100% sure on some on the Screaming Skull here and there. I might have to have a little touch up. But that's for another day. I'm not well enough to be messing around with that now. This is how sick I am. I actually have a MDF painting stand that you can put all the pots of paints into. The plan is to have it at the back at the over there, so I can just take the paints I need, rather than having to sift through a box that's fallen apart and spend 20 minutes, half an hour looking for a handful of paints. And I started putting it together yesterday. I was just so sick I couldn't. I just had to leave it sitting in a pile there for me to do. But anyway, thank you for watching and bearing with me. Hit the thumbs up button for me, guys. Any comments and stuff, chuck below as always. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please hit the subscribe button, because it costs you absolutely nothing, but helps the channel out in a massive way. Turn your notifications on as well so you don't miss anything. Thank you for voting, guys, and I'll see you next time. Take it easy.